Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I want to thank everybody for coming back, watching the video, and showing your support towards the channel and towards mental health awareness. I want to start off with the normal disclaimer of I am not a licensed professional, I am not a licensed therapist or a licensed psychologist or anything like that. I'm simply discussing the problems at hand about how we were feeling some type of way and how we overcame it and battled it and won. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy the video. Thank you for watching. Again, I am with Suracy or
Hello.
Suracy, and my ultimate question is, and I'm very happy you wore Team Mia shirt today.
Yes, it barely fits, but
I was
still
going to
got it.
text you and be like, "Can you please wear me a shirt?" Because I was actually going to wear it too, but I wear it on Monday.
Oh, okay.
I wear it every Monday.
I know, I see that you're for sure. I'm like, when you post your videos, so I'm just like,
I share it. I wear it every Monday. But, so, with the first initial question, what ultimately caused your depression?
My depression started off with the grieving, of course. Grieving of a loss of a child. And that's what I tell people, especially that they don't understand, is a child loss is different from someone losing their parent or someone losing their uncle, grandparent. A child loss is a dream or a vision that never came true. A vision of, future birthday parties, walking your child down the aisle, seeing your child graduate. Like I said, everyone knows Mia's story. Mia was my 2-year-old daughter. Happy little girl, always smiling, and she, battled a tremendous battle with cancer. That little girl, bow down to her. She took in chemo, radiation, surgeries, and she still manages to come out with a smile. And one thing that, that put me into the grieving depression was the death of a child. And and just wanted to guys let you know that my story is a sad story, and I pray that no one goes through what I went through, but there is hope at the end of the tunnel. And Mia is my hope. She's my little girl that will inspire me to do better things, because I believe that my daughter did not die in vain. I believe that she gave me this purpose for me to continue her legacy, because, as you may know, a big fear of mine is people forgetting who Mia was. Or people forgetting that I was a mother of a child, and they only vision myself with 2 kids instead of 3, and that's why we're here to talk about.
So ultimately, following Mia's death, and that's the main reason I kind of, honestly, I feel some sort of attachment to you, because when my mom passed away, I saw your post the very next day. And
I remember.
I was literally what were the odds? What are the odds?
Because your mom passed away the day before, right?
July 4th.
July 4th, and Mia passed away July 5th.
And that's why when I saw, I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. But back to the topic of, ultimately, what were you feeling? What was going on inside your mind, or what was going on that, you felt this type of way?
I felt the way where I failed as a parent.
Even though you didn't.
Even though there was nothing I can control. When you become a parent, one thing you promise when your child comes out of you is, I'm promised to protect you. Mm-hmm. And that is one thing where I believe I failed. And I see, and then the jealousy comes in. Mm. The jealousy of, well, why does her child get to live but not mine?
Yeah.
And So it's a mixture of confusion, sadness, and you just feel numb. Like you feel numb, like, okay, who am I now?
Mhm.
Is my life going to continue like this? And then it's the fear, like, of what the future holds. Like every year on July 19th, on Mia's birthday, I'm not going to make her a birthday party.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to her tombstone. And it's a tombstone, like, that she's not there, but, you know, it's like, wow, you would have been 15 today.
Mm.
Or happy 21st birthday.
Yeah.
So that's what brought my mentality, like, what is going on here? Like, is this going to be my life? And it's a fear, and then you feel numb. A lot of people come up to you saying, you know, we're here for you, we're here for you. And sometimes you push them away because you just need to be alone.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's a time where you have to be alone. You have to just pull yourself together. And just to let you guys know, I mean, it's almost going to be 2 years that Mia passed away, and I still cry every day.
Honestly, I woke up crying this morning. I had a gym with my mom. Legit.
You know?
I had a gym with my mom, and I woke up, but like I was like, why is my nose stuffed? And then I was like, what? I was like, oh wait, it's not a dream.
And see, I cried coming over here because in the radio it came out, knocking on heaven's door. I'm like, oh gosh, you know? And you think about these things like right now, how I see is that, you know, my little girl, you know, that's going to be born, she's not going to know who her sister was.
She'll know who her sister was.
You know,
She will know
you
who
know,
her sister
like,
was.
but a sister to play with, you know, a sister to give her advice or for her to go to school with, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it's like, crap, like, then the depression comes again, you know? So it's a roller coaster.
Mm-hmm.
It's a roller coaster of, you know, emotion, grief, and a lot of people just don't understand. And sometimes, to me, honestly, I thought I was going crazy.
Honestly, I think everybody who's gone through this, who's maybe watching the video that's going through this, I felt crazy. I felt like I was mentally fucked up.
Exactly. And it's like, okay, people are like, okay, let's go out. Let's get your mind out of things, okay? And believe me, those friends, I mean, they're just there, but they don't understand, and they never will, you know? Mm-hmm. But they want to get you out of that dark place. And sometimes when you're having fun, you step back and like, why am I having fun? Yeah. You know? And it's like, and then you go back to that little hole, and then you're like, you know what? My daughter wouldn't want me to act like this. So you get up and you be happy, and then you're like, no, but she's not here. So you go back. So it's an emotional roller coaster, and it's because you're grieving, you know, you're grieving. I've met parents that lost their kids 20 years ago, and they still cry. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you, the pain will always be there, but it does get easier. That's what they say.
It kind of just subsides as the time progresses. It just gets smaller and smaller.
The pain is, like they've always told me, the pain is always there. The pain is always there, but it gets easier to handle. You know, and sometimes what you need to understand, if you have lost a child, you do not move on, but you move forward in life, because you have to move forward. You have to continue to find a career of your choice. You still continue paying bills, you know, mm-hmm. and you continue living life, you know?
Yeah.
And how I see it is, of course, like my thing of a roller coaster is my faith, you know, and I'm sorry if I start crying on this, but how I see it is, do I believe in God? Absolutely. My daughter's the one that showed me that God does exist, because, you know, what she said to me in her last moments of life was, you know, Mommy, the angels are here. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, like, you know, so a little girl, and my fear, like, oh my goodness, sorry. Okay. My thing is, my biggest fear was for her to leave this earth with pain.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, God, please don't take her pain. And no, like she died in my arms, you know, and she died in mommy's arms. The same arms that brought her into this world, you know, and I was the first and last person to hold her. And how I tell people is that God does exist no matter what. And how I see it is like, it's not a back and forth faith, like, okay, I believe you, oh no, I don't.
Yeah.
How I see it is like, God is not my best friend. God is not my homie, like how other people say it.
Mm-hmm.
God is my father. And me, with my real father, I argue with him. And we have disagreements and we fight at each other. And it's like that. It's like, okay, I was a good person, but why did you take my daughter away?
Yeah.
So it's not like, how I see it, it's more of a discussion, like, okay, like we're discussing here, you know, we're, you know, saying the whys. And you would never understand why, you know? Yeah. Just as your mother, you know, like, why me, you know? Or, and see, how I see it's like, why my child? She didn't even get to live. 2.5 years is
nothing compared to...
It's nothing, you know?
It's nothing compared to what other people that go through it.
Exactly, but my thing is, kids with cancer, why do they have to be in the hospital? Yeah. Why do they have to take these evil treatments that just make them weak, vulnerable, make them scared to lose their hair? And sometimes you ask them, like, why? They're innocent. I mean, give me the cancer. The ones that have sinned, the ones that have done wrong, you know? But it doesn't, or the killers or the rapists, you know, give it to them. But that's not how it works. You know, and that's where we have our discussions, you know, like, we have our one-on-one, and sometimes it's the unanswered questions that you ask that will never get answered. And that's how I am in this emotional roller coaster. But do I believe that my daughter had a purpose? Absolutely. And I believe not only my daughter, but my other children, that they will understand that. You know, one thing that we learned about Mia's death is for us to be humble as a family, for us to give, for us to, you know, just thank God of the little things that we have, because at some point, you know, we didn't have nothing because we had to give up a lot because of cancer. But so many people kept coming, and so many people kept offering their, you know, their positivity. And that's what I try to tell my daughter Sophia, that, you know, because she lost her best friend, she lost her little sister, and one thing I tell her is like, you know what, you know, we got to help other kids. We have to help, you know, we have to keep my daughter's memory alive. Because one thing that I fear is that people are going to forget Mia.
Yeah.
And that's one thing. It's like, no, like, we have to remember Mia and have her memory alive in a way where it still impacts people 20 years from now. Where they research, who is Mia Ojeda? Well, Mia Ojeda, you know, she was a little girl battling cancer, always smiled, always did everything, but yet she passed away, but her memory still goes on.
Yeah.
And just like you would want to make an impact just how your mother made an impact on you.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm currently trying to do still.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's how my grieving, like I said, I'm going to grieve for the rest of my life. I mean, I lost a baby, you know, and, you know, it comes with its struggles. You know, like, one day you're perfectly fine, you know, the other day you're just crying constantly. You're crying, but, you know, you get amazing friends. One people that have helped me, or things that have helped me, was working out.
Yeah.
To keep my mind busy. I remember Eddie Garcia, I don't know if you know him. Eddie Garcia and Marley opened up their home to me, and they just said, let's work out, you know, and they would talk about faith while working out, and that helped me. And then, of course, when I would cry, and I would run to them, you know, and say, help me. You know, my coach from Bushido also, like, it's like, you know, go to the gym, you know, get your mind busy, and you gotta keep your mind busy to not forget, but just to, I guess, get your mind off the depression.
Get your mind clear.
Clear. There you go. Clear.
That's how I started doing CrossFit.
You know?
Because for those 5 minutes, 10 minutes, trying to beat someone's time in Grace or trying to do Fran RX, it was nothing else mattered. The only thing that mattered was those 30 reps for Grace or those 21:15. Not my mom getting sick.
Exactly.
In your case, not, the things that were going on with Mia and the things that were going on here and there. It was just
exactly.
That's what was important.
And see, also, I kept my mind with CrossFit. I'll go to the gym like twice a day just to get my mind off, to make it clear and say, get home tired and think about it and see pictures of my daughter and then be like, okay, cry and then go to sleep,
Yeah.
And see, like, people think it's a bad thing. And honestly, it's not. You're grieving, You miss that person that you'll never see again until, we're old, and how long is that going to be?
We're already old.
It's just I'm like, oh, oh my God, if you make me an old woman, in my 80s, that's 60 years from now, or 50 years, 50, 60, yeah.
Me, I'm contemplating turning 28 this year. I'm scared to turn 28 this year.
When I turned 27, I was like, oh my goodness, time for anti-aging cream. But
yes.
No, but it's grieving, and you move forward. You have to move forward in life. What people understand is move on, and there is no counselor. As long as the counselor has lost a child or lost a parent, that person's not going to know how you feel. Yeah, they read their book saying, well, how do you feel? And you pay them $100. I would say go to a trustworthy friend.
Just to
just
out
vent.
Your emotions, yes.
And someone that would let you cry, just say, no, it's okay. Because no.
Even
they know it's not okay, but they're just like, go ahead and cry.
It's okay to cry. That's what I try to tell people that I talk to. It's okay not to be okay.
Exactly.
It's okay to cry. It's okay to let out the emotions. Because, like I was telling you earlier, in my friend's case, I was trying to tell him, dude, it's okay. I understand. I was in the same shoes 2 years ago when my mom was sick. When we rushed my mom to the hospital because she was technically not breathing no more. So, I was in those exact same shoes he was in. And in my case, towards people, it's okay to cry. In your case, it's always okay to cry because you're never going to not grieve for the one person or the one thing that you love the most.
Exactly.
And I always tell people, the one thing that never replaces is your child's love or the love for your child.
Absolutely.
And I always tell people, I will never love anybody as much as I love my mom. And in your case, you would never love anybody as much as you love your children.
Exactly.
And the boat goes both ways. Your kids will never love anybody as much as they love you.
Exactly.
And vice versa. So, to me, I'm it's okay for that to cry. It is okay for you to cry for stuff like that.
And see, like I said, it's just grieving. And like I said, my thing was having a friend there, saying, it's okay. Vent to me, I'll just tell them, dude, just sit there and let me cry to you,
Yeah.
And they'll just sit there and let them cry and then, yeah, are you done? I'm like, yeah, thank you,
That's sometimes all you need.
Yeah, because, one thing I tell people is, please don't tell them they're in a better place.
Yeah.
Oh, that was my little, I guess, pet peeve where, your daughter's in a better place. And of course, my reaction will be, well, take your child to a better place and tell me how you feel.
Yeah. And
they'll be like, oh, crap. And sometimes you can't give advice to a grieving person if you have never been there.
Mm-hmm.
The parents that I've met that lost their kids through cancer, what I tell them is that, hey, I'm here for you. I've been in your shoes. But I'm not going to tell them it's okay.
Because it's really not. It's not okay.
It's not.
It's really not.
And, no counselor, no person that you pay will give you the advice that another grieving person that's been in those shoes will.
Yeah.
Because you need to experience on a person hand on hand. I remember when a parent lost their child and I would see them grieve and I would see them post. I'm like, holy shit, is that going to be me?
Mm-hmm.
And that's your fear for you to become like them, because they're like, crap, they're sad, they're depressed, they're crazy, you know? And then when it happens to you, you're just like, dude, I'm crazy.
Yeah.
But no, the craziness is the, you know, just the grieving part. And, you know, but what I do thank God is, you know, like I said, there's little things here and there, like my daughter Sophia and this little one, I know, you know, they are the ones keeping me alive. My Sophia, like I said, probably the most perfect child out there, is the one that keeps me going. Like, okay, I can't lose another child, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm going to make the best out of her life for her to be, you know, successful. And that's where I put my mind towards, you know? And another thing I look towards is, you know, helping children and keeping my daughter's memory alive, of course.
Yeah. So I was going to ask you, you know, how you felt also and stuff like that. But we covered all of the bases. So,
okay.
To be honest with you, you covered on how you felt and what exactly you were feeling. So, like, I didn't need to ask that question. So, with the final question would be, how do we keep Mia's memory? How did you overcome it? How is the plan to keep Mia's legacy going?
Like, for example, to keep Mia's memory alive, what I try to do my best is to make awareness in the community, especially of childhood cancer. Because, of course, a lot of people think that childhood cancer is St. Jude's right away, St. Jude's Hospital.
Mm-hmm.
But there is so many children here in El Paso that have cancer. That's why, and Mia was well known. Mia was on every TV station. Like, why can't every child receive this? Why can't every child get the help, the attention that the society needs, you know? And so my thing for Mia, like I was just like, Mia, when I would see these kids, you know, see their faces, see their families' faces of desperation, of help, my goal was like, you know what? Mia loved CrossFit. I remember taking Mia to CrossFit. You know, she wanted to do CrossFit. I remember, you know, in her last moments, like doctors were telling my head, like, Mom, Dad, she's not gonna make it, you know. I'm like, no, she is. You guys are just talking shit, you know.
Yeah.
You guys said this the last time and she overcome it, and I really didn't believe it. I did not want to accept the fact that my daughter was gonna die, because it's up here. The anxiety starts pulling in. Then I remember telling Mia, come on, Mia, like, let's do this. We got to go to do CrossFit, because she was looking forward to doing CrossFit. And that's all she wanted to come home to was CrossFit. And when I was like, you know what? I'm going to start a foundation called Miracles in Action. MIA. Mia. So, and I was like, you know what did Mia like to do? Besides, you know, bully other kids, you know, because Mia she was tremenda. Let me tell you, she's the one where I'm like, you know, she was just the most strongest, mentally strong child ever. So I was like, you know what? I talked to my friend Justin, you know, that I've known for several years, you know, very humble man. Even though a lot of people don't believe it, but he is very genuine, very humble. I told him, Justin, can I make an event for my daughter? There was no doubt in his mind. He said, yes, let's do this, you know? And, you know, so thank you, Justin. But, you know, one thing I tell people that, you know, the Miracles in Action Foundation, the cross-training event, is to not compete to see who's the best here, but to bring awareness to the community. Last year, you know, we sponsored 3 kids, and we brought grieving parents to the CrossFit, and I swear, I saw every athlete, even the macho men's, you know, crying there, and I'm like, you know, this is what I wanted. I wanted to bring awareness. I wanted to bring these kids, because cancer does come in every age, every shape and form, and it does come to children. So my thing is like, okay, I am going to bring awareness to the community. I am going to bring awareness to help these kids, like how the public helped me.
Yeah.
So that's how I want to keep my daughter's memory alive. That's how every year, if the public lets me, the athletes are there for me, to just work out and to be there for not just to compete because you like CrossFit, but to compete to help these families, because every single dollar, everything goes to them. I'm like, you know what? I don't want none of this,
Yeah.
I don't want none of this. Everything goes to the families. And that's what I want to bring to El Paso. I wrote a letter to the city asking them to, those lights in the freeway, to turn them gold.
Yeah.
For the month of September. That little thing will bring, like, why are these lights gold? People are going to research it. Childhood cancer awareness.
Yeah.
And, I know it's very difficult right now, to open up a nonprofit. Oh my goodness, it's horrible. And I'm just like, come on, like, I want to do good,
Yeah.
And my thing is like, you know what? Bring awareness. And every year for the Miracles in Action, I want them to come, see each child that comes. Every age, every, age, every size, look at their faces, look at, they're still there, they're still here fighting. They're not lifting weights, but they're lifting their own, They're lifting, they're not pushing, sleds, they're pushing their IV poles.
To be honest with you, that's the biggest thing. It's like they're not lifting weights, but the heaviest weight to bear is what they're battling.
Exactly. Like, I remember I told, last year event, the biggest weight I ever had to carry was my daughter's casket. Mm-hmm. A little casket. That was the biggest weight. And that's the weight I still carry. That I still carry because, the weight of my daughter dying in my arms, like, it still haunts me to this day. It still hurts me that I'm the one that gave her life, but yet she died in my arms, which is it gives me peace because she was in mommy's arms. She was in mommy's arms, and there was not a doubt that she was in peace, and she saw angels, and she left with the angels, and took a piece of my heart with her. And I just want to let the community know that, what I try to do is to bring awareness, to let people know, like, hey, sure, I mean, to help any cancer society, but our community, needs help too. We're not a, high maintenance community. Some people are middle class, low class. And some families had to leave their jobs. I had to leave my job, and that's how we survive by Medicaid. We survive by Social Security, which is not enough,
Yeah.
But to see a little bit of money that could help them and say, here you go for some food, for anything in it, or a little bit support of an athlete just saying, hey, you're a badass parent for doing this,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's all they need, that these parents know that they're doing a good job, because being in the hospital is out of the question. So that's my goal for the community.
So, with that being said, I want to thank you for coming out one more
you.
time. Thank you for sharing Mia's story, and I look forward to competing in Miracles in Action.
Thank you.
And I look forward to having the gym, the supplement store, all a part of it.
Yes.
But that would be a wrap for today. I
Alrighty.
appreciate you coming out.
All right. So, me and I have a secret kiss, right? Give me a kiss. Nose kiss. A mommy made a kiss. See? Those are our kisses. Huh?